I've never seen an event like this before in my entire life. We have so many amazing Amiga fans here. We got Amiga legends. There's Petro right there. What's up, Petro? You can say hi to so many amazing folks. I see Dale Luck walking around over there. This is just going to be an amazing, amazing weekend, and I'm so honored to be here with all of you. Look at all of these Amigas, people customizing their Amigas. I've seen some incredible Amiga builds right here. We got a transparent Amiga 1200. We got Amigas hooked up to stereo systems. This is unbelievable. And that's what I love about Amiga is all of the hobbyists, all the people that modify their Amigas. They put so much love and creativity into their Amigas. It's never been a better time to be an Amiga user. Let's start heading up to the main stage. Wow, look at that. Look at all these Amiga fans here. This is incredible. Woo! I think I see Rob Smith right here. My man, Rob Smith. How's it going? Gianluca, what's going on? What's going on, everyone? It's so good to see you all here. It's a pleasure. Kay, what's up, Kay? Hey, we got Jeff Bruette here. What's up, Jeff? Ron Nicholson, everyone. Ron Nicholson. All right. Woo! Guten Morgen. My name is Amiga Bill. Willkommen bei Amiga 40 Deutschland. Don't worry, I know not everyone here speaks German, so I'll keep it to English so we can all understand. And we're going to use Scala today because this is Amiga 40, not Microsoft 40. Get that PowerPoint out of here. Scala all the way. And wait until you see the quality of the images. Like, it still looks just as good as anything you'd see on a Windows system. It's amazing. All right, so do you guys want to hear something absolutely unbelievable? It's going to blow your mind. Right now, in New York City, at the Museum of Modern Art, one of the most prestigious museums in the world, the Amiga is front and center. Literally, you come up the escalators, and what do you see? You see Amiga DOS, you see Amiga Workbench, and you see these incredible pieces of art made by the great painter Samia Halaby. Samia uses her Amiga 1000 to create what she calls kinetic paintings. She uses them to, she programs them in BASIC and C, and they're absolutely gorgeous pieces of work. Samia is amazing, and not only is her artwork at the Museum of Modern Art, but it's also in the Moynihan train terminal, the busiest train station in New York City. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And the Amiga is relevant, not just relevant as a machine that creates modern art, but it's relevant to us because it's what brought us all here today. Speaking of going to Amiga events, I'll never forget it. March of 1990. My parents loaded me into my grandfather's 1977 Cadillac and drove me down to Washington, D.C. for very special events, AMI Expo. Now, I used to go to many different expos, AMI Expo New York, World of Commodore New York, but this one was particularly interesting because Jay Miner, the father of the Amiga, was giving the keynote speech. He gave an amazing talk, and after the speech was over, we saw Jay walking down the hall. My dad stopped him. He's like, Mr. Miner, can we get a picture? And he was just like, absolutely, let's get a picture. And he wanted to set up the shot. He wanted to set up the shot with he and I looking at each other as if it was like a business meeting. But I was just like so excited. I was like a deer in headlights. I was just looking at my dad like, whoa, this is Jay Miner. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then Jay started asking me questions. And I told him that I ran an Amiga User Group in New York called the Westchester Amiga User Group. And he's like, wait a minute. There's like a 17-year-old kid running an Amiga club in New York? I'm like, yeah. And I told him all about it. And he's like, you know what? This is really, really beautiful because Amiga means friend. And Amiga is all about the people. He had folks from like New Tech and Digital Creations. They all want to talk to him about tech, talk business. And he was just like, hold on. I want to talk to this kid because Amiga is all about the people. And that's the whole theme of this show. That's the exact reason why we're all here today. I mean, sure, I'm super excited to see like all the latest games and hardware and all the cool software that's here. But the real reason why I came all the way here from New York City is to meet with my friends. Speaking of friends, my first night here, I get a call from Amiga Belfast in the house, and the Amiga Malta group, and they're like, let's go out for dinner. And look at the look on our faces. We're just here having a great time. That's what these events are all about. I keep hitting the wrong button here. I got too many mice. Last night I got together with Captain John and Amiga Sons and my amazing friends from the Westchester Amiga User Group, Tony Rocks and Corbo, who came all the way from New York, and Sigurborn, who came from Iceland. It's just an amazing gathering. And like I said before, it's all about the people and all about friends. I mean, I've made some of my best friends in the world thanks to Amiga. When I started the club, I was only like 12 years old when I first joined WOG. And some of the folks in that club, like, I'm still great friends with them today. They're basically my best friends. And now I have all these new great Amiga friends. And it transcends the Amiga. Like, the Amiga is what brought us together. But the really important part is that these are like true friends outside of Amiga. Whether we have personal problems or just want to talk, need someone to talk to, like, I can turn to my Amiga friends because they're literally my best friends in the world. And I'm so lucky to have so many amazing friends that I met through this incredible machine. It's a magical machine, and it's all about the people. There's our Westchester Amiga User Group meeting that we had this year. It was so much fun. Those meetings are the absolute best. We've been meeting since 1988, never stopped and never will, even through the dark ages. 1998, 2000, didn't matter. We still got together because it wasn't so much about the Amiga. It was more about our friendships. Do you remember your first Amiga experience? You never forget your first, right? I'll never forget riding my 1986 Harold Freestyler around my neighborhood, and I hung out with all the other nerds in the neighborhood. I had an Atari 800. Some guys had Commodore 64s. Others had Apple IIes, and we had a joke. Our joke was as seen on the Amiga, because you'd go into the computer store, you'd look at a new game you wanted to buy, you'd look at the back of the box, and of course they showed the Amiga version, because the Amiga version always looked the best. And then you'd bring the game back home, boot it up on your 8-bit machine, and you'd be like, oh man, it doesn't look anything like the Amiga. And I absolutely dreamed of having one. The Amiga wasn't inexpensive. The 1000 was a bit expensive, but then they came out with the cost-reduced Amiga 500. And when that happened, my dad said, you know what? I think we might be able to afford this one. Let's head down to our local Commodore shop, Software Link in White Plains, New York, and check it out. And this is a moment that is just burned into my memory forever. I will never forget walking into Software Link and seeing the Amigas lined up, just absolutely blowing my mind. I mean, they had Defender of the Crown, Jim Sachs's artwork. It still holds up to this day. I mean, that is a beautiful piece of art right there. Absolutely jaw-dropping graphics. His artwork is just absolutely stunning. I'll never forget, they also had Barbarian by Psygnosis up on the screen. It was, oh, I love this game so much. And they, just like the Amiga over there, they had it hooked up to a stereo system with a subwoofer. And at the beginning of this game, that Barbarian lifts up his sword, and you could like feel the weight of the sword. He lifts it up, and then he brings the sword down and cuts the chain in half. And when he cuts the chain in half, there's like thunder and lightning, and like the whole store was shaking. And I was like, ah! And my dad was like, ah! I was like, we need the Amiga. The Amiga is so freaking awesome. And the moment is burned into my brain so much, I still remember the salesman's name. His name was Chris James. Maybe he's still out there somewhere, but I'll never forget it. And he handed us a VHS videotape to take home. It was a promo video for the Amiga 500. I call it I Am the Amiga 500. Oh yeah, there's the Roger Dean artwork, amazing. I call it I Am the Amiga 500, and it was wild, man. It had like Amiga 500s on pedestals, rising out of the smoke. You can see the juggler demo up there, and they had this awesome voiceover that said, I am the Commodore Amiga 500, and I was like, ah. And then it even had stuff like the Superman figure. He would like rip his shirt open to reveal the Amiga 500 is expandable to 1 megabyte of RAM. I was like, yeah! I was so psyched. I literally watched that video every single day after school. I couldn't wait to get home to watch that video. I got the video probably in the summertime every day leading up to Christmas 1987 when I finally got my first Amiga. That's me. That's Christmas Day. That's Christmas Day 1987. Unbelievable. Big thanks to my uncle for shooting that little video clip that I grabbed it from. I can't believe I have this image. So I know many of you share the same images. I see folks posting pictures of them at their Amigas online, and it just really, it really goes deep. I love it. But the Amiga wasn't just a machine that entertained us. It also empowered us as a creative tool. That's my Amiga 2000. I got a RockGen hooked up to it, my Sharp JX100 scanner, DC TV, there's a chroma key up there. I used to use my Amiga to run programs like dpaint, Imagine, AdPro, Scala like I'm doing right now. I would make projects for school. I used to blow them out of the water. I'd bring my Amiga in. People were just like, oh my God, what's going on here? Make videos for WOG. And I even used it to make my portfolio for film school. And I got into film school, and that's eventually what led me to have the career that I have today. I'm in film and video production. And I know many of you share the same story. So many of you here are amazing artists, musicians, game designers, engineers. You work in IT, and it was the Amiga that lit that spark inside all of us. And that spark ignited a fire that's still burning today. Think about it. 40 years after the Amiga 1000 launched, we're still here, not just preserving the history of the Amiga, but also making it. I mean, look, this is incredible. There's over 50 exhibitors here making history for the Amiga. It's absolutely unbelievable. Last year, over 60 games came out for the Amiga. Some of them are like AAA quality. It's mind-blowing. We have hardware developers here with new Amiga computers, new peripherals for your classic Amiga that we only dreamed of having back in the 90s. We have Amiga magazines, YouTube channels, podcasts, live streams. This is a living ecosystem of passion. And that's the magic of the Amiga. It's not just a computer, it's a family. And like Jay Miner told me back in 1990, the Amiga is a friend, and it's all about the people. Speaking of people, I want to give a big shout out to Markus Tillmann for putting together this amazing event. Thank you so much, Markus, for inviting me and asking me to do this opening talk. I'm humbled and honored. And also his team. Markus couldn't do it without a team. They're all wearing these red team T-shirts. So if you see him walking around, give him a fist bump, give him a high five, show him some Amiga love for all their volunteer work and all their hard work. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. Speaking of people, there are some very distinguished guests joining us. They are going to be walking around. Feel free to reach out and talk to them. They actually have VIP cards somewhere. There's like you can collect them all. So in order of the VIP card collection, you'll see today walking around. Some of them will also be up here on stage. We have Simon Butler, David Pleasance, Eric Simon, Trevor Dickinson, Jürgen Goldener, Petro Chichenko, Dave Haney, RJ Michael, Colin Proudfoot, Chris Hulsbeck, Giles Warden, Ron Nicholson, Hans Ippisch. That's me. I'm not sure what I'm doing on this list, but I'm honored to be there. Stu Cambridge, Tony Warrener, Jeff Bruette, Beth Richard, Mike Daly, Peter Kay, Raven Lourdes, last and certainly not least, Mr. Dale Luck. Now, speaking of Dale Luck, there are some incredible exhibits right here in this room that you're not going to want to miss. Dale brought the original Lorraine prototype and breadboards all the way from California. They are right back there in front of that black curtain. Dale's back there. You don't want to miss this. Huge thanks to Dale. This is an amazing effort that Dale brought these boards so far. This is the farthest east that they've ever been. The first, we had, at BCF East, we had the world record for them being the furthest east. Now you guys broke that record, so I'm super, super happy. Dale's going to tell us all about it coming up in a few minutes up here on the stage. And you certainly don't want to miss the Commodore Works Museum 2.0. Markus gave me a little bit of history behind this museum. There was an old Commodore museum in Braunschweig. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's the city where they used to produce the Amigas. It was dissolved, and Petro Chichenko and Mario brought most of the exhibits. And now they built a brand new museum called the Commodore Works Museum 2.0. It's right over there. It's absolutely incredible. They've got so many great artifacts. They've got the Amiga MMC, Amiga 500 Ball, Amiga 500 Tiger, Amiga 3000T. the Amiga 3000 UX, the Amiga 3500, and many more. There's that Amiga 1000 I was telling you about with the Commodore logo. I just snapped these shots yesterday when we were setting up. It was awesome. There's also an Amiga repair corner. Our Amigas are they get a little old, but they're trying hard for us, but they all need a little help just like us. Whether you want to get it recapped or you want to get that Varda out of there, you can check out the Amiga repair corner. I think it's back there, sponsored by Alinea Computer. And of course, this wouldn't be possible without all the amazing sponsors to Amiga 40. Huge thank you to all of the sponsors. All right, Amiga family, let's make this a weekend you'll remember just as fondly as I remember AMI Expo 1990. Have an amazing time, and Amiga forever!